Dear students of academics and competitive exams of English, students, in this lecture 3 English version lecture, we are going to study some more idioms in the segment of vocabulary based on idioms. Students, this is M. Rahman and you are attending ORAC classes of English language. Please to continue your vocabulary writing section and literature. Keep on watching ORAC classes of English language and please don't forget to subscribe our channel so that you may get all the lectures first. Students, please, if you like our lectures, don't forget to like and share. Now students, let's begin with the first idiom, at daggers drawn. We will begin with at daggers drawn, as the word dagger shows a knife and drawn means that is taken out from the cover. When you have a knife in your hand, bare knife in your hand without cover, it means you are ready to attack. It means when you will attack when you are an enemy of somebody or somebody is enemy of you. Then definitely the drawn dagger shows enmity. It means in the state of bitter enmity, means dangerous, on being dangerous enemy. In this, students, in what condition, means how you are acting with others, the answer will be at daggers drawn. That's why it is an adverb and we will use it, at daggers drawn, in the condition of in the situation of our mental status, that we are angry and doing like this. Then you can use this, he is at daggers drawn these days, he doesn't favor me. Now student, at one's wit's end. First, according to me, first we should learn the meaning of the idiom. And how we can learn the meaning of the idiom? Students, the meaning of the idiom, just like at one's wit's end means perplexed, but they are not matching. Then we should relate the sense of at one's wit's end and the word used in this at one's wit's end with the sense of perplexed. We should create a link. This is the first thing to remember, to learn the meaning of this phrase. Okay, in short, at one's wit's end means perplexed. Then how can we relate at one's wit's end to perplexed? We should create a link like this. One's means somebody's, wits means wisdom, end means finishing point, means when a person has the finishing point of his wisdom. Seriously and simply, when we are in extreme problem, our mind stops working. Our mind stops working, and when our mind stops working means our wit means intelligence, comes to an end. It means wits means wisdom and end. When our wisdom comes to an end means we are perplexed, we are confused, we are hopeless. It means when you are not able to take the decision, it is at one's wit's ends. Student, this word one is the possessive case of one. One's is the possessive case of one's. Means if your subject is he, then you will use his. If your subject is she, you will use her. If your subject is they, you will use their. Students, in this way, if your subject is one, then you will use one. In this way, once is you use once forever is not good. You use once according to your requirement. In this way, we can say I am not at my wit's end. You are not at your wit's end. In this way you will use. So students, it's very important for you. It's very important for you to use each and every idiom given here, each and every idiom written in your book, so that you may use it with confidence in your examination. If in the examination you use any idiom for the first time, you may make a mistake. You may make a mistake. That's why you just prepare your own example and you should create a short usage of the idiom. Don't write a long sentence. The sentence should be clear. If students, now let's come to the next, at sixes and sevens. At sixes and sevens means in disorder or in confusion. Now we should create a link between these two. Students, suppose we are in unity. We are 11 people, we are 12, 20 people, and on seeing the danger, we dispersed. We are divided. and we are divided in various groups, 5, 6, 7, a total 20. In this way, 6 and 7 means your group is divided because they are in disorder, means they are dispersed. Dispersed means not in unity, not in uniform. Students, now confusion is the dispersion of mind, and disorder means physically your disunity. Now you can say, seeing the principal, the students were at 6s and 7s, but without principal they were going in a group. I think you have understood it. A fool's paradise. Fool means man of no mind, and paradise means his happiness or thinking. Students, if a person is foolish person, if a person is a stupid person, and he thinks whatever he thinks, definitely he thinks useless and full of foolishness. That's why his happiness, paradise means happiness, his happiness is meaningless. It means a fool's paradise means imaginary happiness. Imaginary happiness means where there is no reality. It means if a student thinks that without examination he will get good knowledge, it's a fool's paradise, because students, there is no reality and it is not practically proved. So it's a fool's paradise. It means when we keep on living in the state of a wrong thinking and we think that we are right, it's fool's paradise. Because in paradise we get relaxed, and any relax that we take for a short time proves to be fatal in the long run. That's why a fool's paradise means imaginary happiness. Students, a hard nut to crack. A hard nut to crack means sometimes you I think consumed walnuts. Some walnuts crack easily, but sometimes some cracks don't do so easily. It means it is hard. It means that nut requires more effort done by you. It means difficult task to do or difficult to do. Now students, in this way we come to know that some work that is difficult to do. In this way we have created a link between a hard nut to crack means difficult to do, means nut that is hard will not be cracked easily. In this way a work, you can say mathematics is a hard nut to crack, means mathematics is not easy to learn, in other words. Next, a lame excuse. Students, when you give some excuse that is not based on reality, suppose you didn't come to school and you are really sick and you told me that sir, I am sick so I can't come to school. It's an excuse. It's okay, you are weak and sick, so you please stay at home, stay home. But students, when you are not in such a condition and you are telling a lie, that is a lame excuse, a false excuse. Means we should not make a lame excuse to the teachers. This is the usage. A snake in the grass. A snake in the grass means the thing you are consider very comfortable and very beautiful, but it is fatal and it is dangerous to you. It means some enemy is hidden in that grass. It means a snake in the grass means a snake is not before your eyes and you are confused that grass is very soft and beautiful, but it is a danger for you. It means an enemy hidden there. It means an enemy that's not visible to you, but that is very dangerous for your life. Students, this is a noun phrase and it can work as an adjective too. Sometimes our friend is a snake in the grass. Our friend proves to be a snake in the grass, and it can be used as a noun phrase too. Students, a white elephant. A white elephant means unaffordable thing, expensive, more than income. Now how can we learn this? A white elephant, how can we bear in mind that a white elephant is an expensive thing? Then we should relate a white elephant to the expensiveness. Suppose students, if we have a black elephant that are available in India, it is easy to purchase on a usual price. But if you want to purchase a white elephant, you will have to purchase it from I think just as so far as I know from Thailand, and it will be a rare species. That's why you will have to pay much. It means you have increased your expenses here. Other than this, his eating habits may be different from the elephants of India. In this way, you will have to spend some money on that. In this way, this elephant will prove to be a very expensive animal. In this way, a thing on which you have to spend more than usual. In this way, a white elephant is anything that is unaffordable thing in terms of money. You can say a car for an average family is a white elephant, because when it is not in the work, it requires you can say overhauling. It requires insurance, and so many other things are there, and you continue to spend. That's why a white elephant means unaffordable thing. At hand means, hand means palm. You raise your hand and you pick something at a stone's throw, and the meanings of these two idioms are near. Now, how will you relate at hand and at a stone's throw to the word near? Suppose you spread your hand and you pick the pencil. In this way, it is very near. And a stone's throw, you throw the stone and you go and pick it, then it is near. Students, a lion's share. A lion's share means a big share, and as we know the share of the lion, and nobody can show courage before the lion to take more things, and we will give up the big share for the lion. That's why we can take it as lion share, as big share. Then you can use it. Everybody wants a lion's share in this property. A turncoat. A turncoat means a person who changes his views. A person who changes his views. It can be used as a noun phrase. Students, now we should relate a turncoat with the meaning of a person who changes views. Means, suppose you are wearing a coat that is one-sided coat. It means it is stable. If you have two-sided coat, I think that is called reversible coat, so far as I know. I am not sure. Then one day you wear white part, and second day you wear a brown part. Then you can change it. In the same way, there is a person who can change his views. Suppose one day he says to your some opinion yes, and on the other day he said no. In this way, a person who changes his views occasionally, that is a turncoat, a person who is not stable. So we should not believe in a turncoat. Add fuel to the fire. Students, if we add fuel to the fire, it is increased. In the same way, suppose if there is some anger and we speak some odd words to the person who is angry, it will increase his anger, and these words will work like a fuel, and his anger will work as a fire. In this way, we can learn the sense of this idiom to make matter worse, and when an angry person become more angry, then the matter will become worse, and definitely there will be some harm. In this way, add fuel to the fire. Add is a verb, and then that's why you use to make, and in this way you use a what? Verb. Students, verb. You use verb. And students, you should use at the place of verb. We should not add fuel to the fire when somebody is not in good mood. At arm's length. Students, in the phrase at hand you were using where is at hand? At hand, this one. At hand means near, and when you spread your whole arm, it will take length. In this way, you increase the length. It means something is at a good distance. Good distance means you require a little more walk. Means suppose you say, if you want to go to Ramesh's house, you will it will take 10 minutes because it is at arm's length. Now, students, a drop in the ocean. A drop in the ocean means very little. Now we should relate this a drop in the ocean with the sense very little. You know, students, ocean is a big mass of water, and drop is a very short measurement of water, and drop has no value in front of ocean in comparison to ocean. In this way, we can say very little. Then you can say it is a drop in the ocean. Suppose if you want to buy a villa and you have only 1 lakh rupees, and that villa, the price of that villa is crores of rupees, then we will say that your money is a drop in the ocean. At home in students, whenever you feel at home, it means you are relaxed, and whenever you do something with ease, you feel at home. It means you feel at home when you are an expert person, and when you are an expert person, you do something easily. That's why at home in means expert. That's why we can say he is at home in Hindi subject, he is at home in mathematics, he is at home in English spoken. Students, we feel at home whenever we are expert in it. We feel the pleasure of home. Apple of discord is just like, students, you can say apple of discord, a bone of contention. You know, a bone, when a bone is thrown among the dogs, they begin to quarrel. In the same way, when there is an apple only and the children are more than one, then of course there will be a dispute, there will be a discord among them, and each one of them will say I will eat it, and the other I will eat it. In this way it will become a cause of dispute. That's why it will become an apple of discord. In this way we can say, students, this property is an apple of discord among the brothers. Now students, after listening all this, I think it would be very easy to you to learn all these phrases and idioms. Then students, before I finish it, I would like to give a few tips to you. When we learn an idiom, we should relate the words written in the red color, I mean written in the idioms, to the meaning of the idiom, and should create a link. After creating a link, we should see where we can use it, in place of how, in place of where, in place of noun. And the third thing will be, you use it in your easy sentence, in your short and precise sentence. Don't try to write a long sentence in this given meaning in blue color. Suppose he is in the state of bitter enmity, and then you will replace in the state of bitter enmity with he is at a dagger's drawn. And students, one more instruction is, you must use the examples that you have already practiced in your fair notebook. Although it's not a mandatory, it's not a hard and fast rule that you do your already used example, but it would be better for your confidence and committing no mistake, making no mistake. I hope you have gone through this lecture very well, students. And to keep on watching all such type of lectures, please don't forget to subscribe our channel, your own channel, Oracy Classes of English Language, students. And please like, share and comment to us. Students, you can take screenshots and then you can write them in your fair notebook. Thanks.